This video picks up where we left off. We just finished our data table. Now we're ready to start graphing. In order to graph, I want to make a scatter plot because I've got quantitative information on both the x and y axes. If I had qualitative information, I might need to do a bar graph or something else instead. But because both of those sets of ideas are numbers, we're going to be able to put down coordinates and then figure out the relationship between the coordinates. So step one, from top to bottom, in one click, highlight your x values. Only include the numbers. Don't include headers, don't include unit labels. Any text is going to mess this up. Then, holding down the control key, highlight, you do that by the way so you can highlight non-adjacent cells, highlight your best possible y values, which is actually the average values rather than the raw data. Again, that was one click from top to bottom. If you click more than once or in the wrong direction or in the wrong order, Google will try very hard to graph it and match the coordinates up in however the way you clicked. It's smart enough to get things mismatched and upside down and duplicated. So I'm very impressed, but that does make it hard if you're not used to one click all the way down. Next step, we're going to insert a chart. Defaults to column chart, that's fine. Over here under data, under chart type, scroll down and select the scatter plot. Then go over to customize. You can check that your title looks good. Average voltage, we don't need that extra info there. Versus, oh, sorry, that's the vertical axis title. Okay, just kidding. Under chart title, we don't want that extra stuff there. Voltage versus light bulbs in series. A Y versus X format, that's a great way to do a title. Under the vertical axis, we do want voltage measured in volts with a measurement uncertainty on there. That's fine. And then on the x-axis, light bulbs, we don't need measurements. We don't need an uncertainty. Okay, good. All right. Let's check. Everything looks good here. We're going to add in a trend line, also called a best fit, also called a regression. We want to show the r-squared value. We'll talk about what that means and does in class. And instead of labeling it like that, we want the label to be the equation for that. That way we've got a slope and intercept. It's following the format y equals mx plus b. By the way, we chose a linear trend line. You've got some options here. You can choose different options depending on what you think it should be doing as well as what it looks like it's doing. But in this case, this definitely looks like a linear series. Now, there's probably a couple issues here. Let's track them down. Okay, on the horizontal axes, it's treating labels as text. Wait a second. Coincidentally, our labels are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But it's not graphing those as values 1 through 5. It's just graphing this as the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth data point. This is a common problem with Google Sheets in interpreting things not necessarily as numbers. We don't want to do that. Now it's actually treating these things as numbers. And once we have a genuine x-axis on this, where do we want to be graphing from? The coordinate 0, 1? No, in most cases we want to be graphing from the origin. So let's set a minimum value of 0 here. And there we go. We've got a nice origin. We can see where the y-intercept hits. This is looking a lot better. Hey, it looks like I accidentally clicked a box for y-axis error bars, which looks cool, but are the error bars based off my precision values, or are the error bars a fixed % of the value we're graphing? And unfortunately, those are your only options. A constant error bar, which by the way is great for displaying your measurement uncertainty. But what we really want is to be able to set the precision values to be the error bars. And it's not giving us that option. So one thing I can do is you can upload a add-on or a plugin for some fancier graphing capability. You can do this in Microsoft Excel. You can print your graph and you can pencil it in by hand, or you can just leave yourself a mental note. We don't want the error bars to be just a fixed percentage of each value. All right, let's check. Got that labeled, titled, trend line, r-squared value, equation showing, cool, everything is good.